Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, depending on which part of the world you're at. Thank you for joining our webinar on Significant Aftermarket Solution Demo and an Ask Me Anything session. Unfortunately, all participants in today's call are muted. So if you have any queries or you have any points you would like to chat about, you could already either leave it as a chat or a Q&A question that you have that we will take up in the Ask Me Anything session at the end of the meeting. We will get started in a minute or two just to make sure that we have all our guests ready and logged in. Okay, I think we have most of our guests logged in already. So again, thank you. Welcome to Significance demonstration webinar today. It's a short session, 30 to 40 minutes, where we'd like to talk about what the aftermarket solution is, what kind of problems do we solve, a quick demonstration of our solution, and we'd like to wrap it up with an Ask Me Anything session, wherein you could post any question regarding the solution, technology within the aftermarket, digitization, thread, or even anything on digital transformation that you have within the aftermarket. Unfortunately, all the participants' mics are muted, so all queries and all chats could be entered using the chat box and Q&A on top of your screen if you're on a laptop. And I'm not really sure where it is on a phone, but there is a Q&A and a chat box. Our speaker today is Ruud de Bruijckere. He's the VP of Product Development at Signifikant. And over to you, Ruud.
Thank you very much, Krishma. Welcome to this seminar for the Signifikant solution demonstration. So it will be pretty much hands-on, but I will start with a short presentation. Let me see if we can get to the next page. Yes, a short presentation of myself, of our company, and then we will continue with the aftermarket solution from Signifikant. So as Karishma said, I'm the Vice President of Product Development. I've been working with software development since 1992 and with Signifikant since 2007. After I'm going a little bit ahead. After the presentation of our company, we will demonstrate the aftermarket solution, and then the Ask Me Anything session will come. So that was a very short introduction of myself, a little bit ahead of time. If we look at the company, Signifikant is in the business of aftermarket since 2004. We have a couple of persons that actually started Signifikant who has been working in the aftermarket since 1994, when they started and digitalized the aftermarket of the Scania service department, creating catalogs. Today, we have offices in Paris, in Mumbai, and in Stockholm, Solna, just outside the center of Stockholm. If we look at the evolution of our platform, then the Signifikant platform started as a digitalized catalog of parts, assemblies, and products. And it has evolved into a complete aftermarket product information management system, which means we not only have information about catalogs, about structures of products, but also the relationships between parts and interchangeable parts, replaced parts. There's the possibility to create kits and to link kits to specific products, to link documentation to specific products in specific situations, to integrate the system to ERP systems, CAT systems, document management systems. So an aftermarket PIM is much more than just a catalog which is digitalized and which you can look at and browse through on the internet. Next step of the evolution is to add e-commerce, to make it possible to not only find the part or the solution or the document you need, but to also to order it, to see the availability, to in the future also to return the spare part that you took out of the component you took out of the machine. Currently, Signifikant is involved in a European research project which is focused on the reverse logistics. So where we also will give you information about, okay, you want this component, which one did you take out? Let us see if there is any interest in the market to take this back, and you can get some money, and we can have a better sustainable solution than we otherwise would have. So we are continuously evolving and integrating into more areas. This makes that the aftermarket solution becomes a very central solution in the company. It has a lot of information, and a lot of processes and other systems start to rely on these solutions. So if we look at some of our customers, our bigger customers, then we can see that we have long relationships. With Komatsu Forest, we have a relationship that had lasted now almost 25 years. Scania, it's lasted 30 years. I think in general, yeah, we also, once you become a customer, you can't get rid of us. We don't lose customers, which is also a good thing. If we look at these customers, we have Komatsu Forest. They make forestry machines, big machines. We have a lot of components, very complex structures. So they really need a specific product information management system for the aftermarket. A normal product information management system cannot grasp the needs of a real aftermarket system. They're using our tool, the Signifikant Manager, to manage all the information very heavily since the beginning, creating catalogs, creating parts, creating structures, linking these together, and then publishing the information, not only to the internet, but they also have an offline solution. So each forestry machine has a built-in PC or tablet with information for that machine, where you can browse it even if you're in the forest and offline. So they're using our management tool very heavily. But we have different types of customers. You can see there Atlas Copco tools or industrial engineering. They are creating simpler tools. They're creating screwdrivers for auto manufacturers. They don't have very complex products, but they have very complex amount of different variants and models of these products. So they have hundreds of screwdrivers which are almost the same, but not completely the same. And they actually have automated the creation of the information. So typically, you start off with a bill of material from the engineering department, and then the tool is created. You have a manufacturing bill of material, and that's interesting. But for servers or reparation, you don't want to see all the details about all the parts, of which a lot maybe are not service parts. So we want a service bill of material to know which parts are typically be replaced, which parts are together put into a service kit. And what Atlas Copco Tools does is they actually create that in Windchill PTCs and create a service bill of material which is imported automatically into our solution. So they're not using the Signifikant management solution, but they are actually automating this completely so that every day the newest information from the service department, from the engineering department, from the manufacturing floor is updated into the system, and the service bill of material is updated. Yeah, and as said, you see here a number of customers of us, and it ranges from very complex products to simpler products. It ranges from customers who use all of our modules, including Dometic, the claims module, the payment module, to customers who maybe not use everything yet. We'll see about that. Another big customer we just added in the fall is Atlas Copco Power Tools, which also would be good to have on this picture. But this is just some of our example customers. So why searching for an aftermarket solution? You want to increase the service level, increase the data quality. And by doing that, you want to increase sales and market share. As an OEM, which most of our customers are, not all of them. We also have dealers and resellers as customer, but most often it's the OEM owning the information and having the best information about the products. And by sharing that and making sure that if I go to the source and buy the spare parts from the original manufacturer, I will be 100% sure that I get the correct spare part. But to be able to do that, you will have to have perfect data quality and have a aftermarket solution, which also has a front end, which is very easy to use and gives a very good experience. So it shall be also possible. Sometimes there's a hurry. I'm out in the field. I have my farming equipment. Something breaks down, and the part I need, it's not available. Then it's good to have this aftermarket product information management system that says, well, okay, your orange part is not available, but we actually have a yellow one, which will work just as well. It will just make your farming equipment look a little bit strange. And then you can order that and you can immediately continue do your farming. So all these interrelationships between the parts and information and still ensuring that everyone gets the correct part at the right time. That's what we are for. So typically, I will just click this so you can see it all at once. Typical implementation is quite complex, but you don't need to do everything at once. But we gather information from many sources, typically from a PLM, PDM systems, from a CAD system, from a content management system, from an ERP system, from a CRM system. We gather information about the products, but we also can gather information about the assets, the actually installed base, the really produced products. And we can continue to add information even after a product has been produced and keep an as maintained picture of a certain product. And then we have multi-channel. We are since we're still able to create PDFs, even though they're maybe not used that much anymore. We, of course, have our own portal, the Signifikant web viewer, to view all this information and to find parts, to see the availability, see my price, to order it. We have this offline viewer, and then we have integrations through API or file export with other systems. So you can build your own web shop based on this information, or you can send it to a partner reseller who can use the information to include in their systems. We have done demonstrations with augmented reality where you can see the part information in your screen on your telephone while pointing it at a washing machine, for instance. And then at the right side, we have integrations. We want to integrate with your database of users and customers, with your ERP system that provides prices, availability, with your shopping environment. If you have a checkout web shop, then we can send a shopping cart filled with spare parts to your web shop, and then it can be processed. Even though you can also do that in our own portal. With IoT integration, so you can see live data from your machines in the portal, or with a ticketing system where especially our claims module is very interesting because it will allow you to create claims based on parts, products, or orders you have put down earlier. Yes, I will skip this one. This is just to show that there is an enormous different amount of data, and our database model, our information model, is really made for the aftermarket and can really take care of all the different information types that you have in the aftermarket and their relationships between each other. We have a short time today, so I'm going quickly through this because I want to get to the demonstration too before we get into the Ask Me Anything question. Here you can see how this platform is built up. It's a solution. We have a base platform. We have a prenumeration model, subscription model, where the base platform gives you the possibility to keep all the information, import information, to publish the information. And then we have add-ons to this. We have integrations to warranty claims modules, or our own warranty claim module, our own installed base module, cross-selling possibilities, the offline module. And then we have the integrations on top to your ERP system, to your IoT system, to a payment solutions, to your ticketing solution. So it really adds up from the base where you can start with gathering your information, building your product information management database, using that, maybe just using that internally with your service technicians, and then build on top of that. And in the end, maybe you want to open it also up to your end customers so they can go to it, create a shopping list, send it to their reseller who orders it from the OEM. Okay, I think with that, I'm come to showing you a little bit about the product. We are on 15 minutes, halfway. That's good. Plan to make this 3 times 15 minutes. So let us look what we have for different sites. I can start with the Atlas Copco Serve 8. Here. Yes, I can hope you can see that. So this is one of the two Atlas Copco companies that we're working for, and this is Industrial Tools, and they create these tools that you see here on the screen, and they have a nice way to browse your way through their product flora. So let's say I'm interested in my pneumatic assembly tools, then I see the different types there. So this is a typical way of finding your product by navigating down a product hierarchy. It's not necessarily, there are other ways to find your product, as we will see later. But this is one way. You can also, of course, directly search for LMS 08 to find this specific product. And then you can see here, as I mentioned, there are different types of information, and each customer of us have their own separate list of information. Some have only documentation, some have only spare parts, and some have a lot more than that, as you can see here at Atlas Copco. You can also see that we have specifications. So on each level, on product level, part level, assembly level, you can add as much metadata as you want. And there is even more metadata here about this product that we have imported. And this can also be used to search, to say I want to have a pneumatic wrench pistol grip that has a rack hose size between 6 and 7 millimeter. Well, then this one would turn up. We will see that later too. You also see that this is including old machines that are no longer sold, and that is also typical for aftermarket product information management systems. We are not looking at everything that is sold today. We are looking at everything that is sold today and maybe 20, 30 years back, because we also want to maintain those systems. If we look here at spare parts, we can see that it's quite simple. It's not a deep structure of spare parts. It's basically 3 illustrations. If we go to the top one, we see clearly the illustration, and we can see that if we select one of the parts, this O-ring here, then we can see that it's in stock, that it's included in a kit. And also, if I want to add it to the shopping list, it actually shows me both the part itself, but also automatically. And this is a built-in feature. It recognizes, it searches quickly through the database and find other places where this is used, and it checks if it's valid within this context, and will show also this kit. So I can check this kit, how does that kit look like, and I can add the kit to my shopping list. So now I've added this kit to my shopping list. I can choose from many languages. Our user interface supports, I think nowadays, about 27 different languages. But of course, the data itself, that depends on the data that is provided by the OEM, but also that you can then provide in many languages. So let's see if we have this in Swedish, then we just get it in English, but you can see that all the buttons are changed. But if the data was provided in Swedish, then we would have seen also the other information in Swedish. So that is one of our customers example. They have a very clean, nice site to very quickly find what you need. As I said, I can also just type LMS 08 here, and it will immediately come up. It will also show me other information, products. Let's go back to English. I'm not sure about the audience, but let's for sure. Products, parts, and kits documents, so you can at once search through the complete database and find everything that is related to this. So we also have documents here that we can look at and search. And we support HTML, we support PDF, we support links to externally published documentation, which are in the CMS portal, for instance. Let us take a look at another customer. The sites that you see, they are look quite different. They can follow the style guidelines of the customer, our customer, but in the end, all our customers are using one and the same platform, and that is our strength, because if we add new functionality, this new functionality will immediately also be available to all our other customers. And we are adding actually functionality in a quite fast pace, because a lot is happening in the aftermarket area. So here we have Dometic. They're using almost all the functions we have in the platform. So on the top level, they have some buttons for specific functionality for spare parts, which you can buy basically separately. They are not linked to a assembly or a product, but you can buy and search them here. You will see that everywhere where I select a part or view a part, I will immediately see a lot of information about it. It will immediately go out to the ERP system, get the price, get the availability. And this is my price. This is the net price, gross price. This portal is used by the resellers, the caravan shops that sell the refrigerators and other stuff that Dometic sells for sailing yachts and mobile homes and things like that. So, and I can add this. I can say this is a demo, and I add this to my shopping list. So these are parts, and if I click on it, I get even more information about this part. You can all the specifications, that it's a kit, which includes other parts, that there are replacements. There's a replacement chain for this specific part. Yeah, you can add specific views of it. So it really is a complete product information management system, but then for the aftermarket. Another way to find parts is to start, and I already put here a number as a product number of a specific product created. So I'm not searching for the SKU number or the model, because then probably I will get 10 different hits here. I'm looking for this specific product model, because this is the specific model that exactly has the spare parts that my machine has. And if I'm wondering, asking, okay, which number should I use, then we have here possibility to get some information. It's actually this number, which has a red box around it. That's the number we need, because then we will be 100% sure that you get the correct spare part, and it is exactly the version that you have standing there. Again, if I click on it, you can see there's a lot of specifications here, a lot of information. Information is put together from the factory, from they have a PIM system for the web shop, the in-river system. It's from other places, it's manually entered. All this information is put together into one place. You can see here that this heart is green. That means I've put this into my favorite list, so I can also easily get to this machine here from my favorite list. I can create a lot of favorite lists if I want, if I have recurring orders, for instance, or I just often go to the same list. And then we have documents and spare parts. So if we again look into the spare parts, again, this is not very complicated machine. It's not a truck or a forestry machine. It's a little bit more complex than the Atlas Copco tools, but still, if you look into it, you get this view over the parts, and if I select a part, and it's shown on the right side. And this one is not activated yet, so you get a lot of different types of information about these parts, and you can take a closer look at them. You can look at the part from different angles to make 100% sure that it's correct. And you can even check, okay, actually I have another refrigerator too. Is it also used in that one? I can filter on that and see where is this part used, what machines, or in this case, refrigerators, does it work for? Yes, and I think actually that here, if I would change the language, I would actually, yeah, so you can see now that these parts here, Goedslist, Durfak, so now we have actually certain parts that are translated into Swedish. And if it's not available, then like here, cover strip, it will actually go back and fall back to English in this case. It's part of a kit, and it has replacements. So you can see all this information here, and it has replacements here. Let's go back to English. Very quickly look into the claim module. If we go back to the front page, you can start the claim module. You can start it from the front page. You can start it from a product, from an order. But this aftermarket system brings everything together that you actually need to create a claim. It has an integration to all the orders. It knows the order history. It has the integration to all the products. So it knows the products and what the bill of material each product is. It knows about the parts. It knows about the users and the organizations. So you can easily put this together and create a claim. And you can then use the same functionality as you have in the portal to find spare parts, to actually say, well, this is actually the product I'm looking at. You can see this here very nicely. You can enter a serial number, date of purchase. Then you can also set, okay, which parts are actually not working well. So it will search within the context of that product. It will search for the parts that have a problem. You can add cost, travel costs, work costs. Then the Dometic can add their own costs. They can internally add information, so that you see here to the right, it's not visible for the reseller. It will only be visible for Dometic themselves. And then you can, in this system, you can follow your claims, and you can move them further down the line. They either are accepted or they are refused, or you can ask for more information about these claims. There's a lot of functionality around documentation. Documentation can be linked to products. If I add a product to a shopping cart, I can see related documentation. We can have bulletins, which is documentation which has a certain time period and can be linked to a product or a part. So there's a lot of information there. Time is running away, so I'm going to the third and last customer I would like to demonstrate. That is Quickie. They make front loaders, something you put in front of your tractor. And if you get to the site, you can say, I need a spare part. And in this case, I say, well, I want to browse the Quickie spare parts. And now you get, boom, you get into the Signifikant solution, aftermarket solution. And you can have spare parts, wear parts, miscellaneous parts, as you see here. And what they have done, and we have this also at other customers like Weatherstad, they have made this graphically. Okay, where is your problem? Well, we have a problem with our loader. Well, we have 3 brands in the loaders. When was it produced? So you can filter here. As I said, it is also possible to filter on other specifications. And then you can drill down until you find the product that's your product. And then here on the right side, you can drill further down to see, okay, this is actually the pin that I need. But let's say that I know my machine, I know its serial number, then it's easier. Either okay, it switched to Swedish because I'm my browser is in Swedish, but now it's English again. Then here on top, I can search again, and I can search for a product, I can search for a part, I can search for a document, but I can also add and enter my serial number here. So we don't only have a database with all the product information, but also a database with the installed base. And then you can see here, this is a actually produced machine on the 20th of April of 2020. And if I click on it, I see all the information about this specific machine. And I can see its specifications, if there are any additional accessories linked to it. So if I go to another machine, 101.202.800.177, then I can see that this machine actually does have some extra specifications linked to it. And this is currently as manufactured, but it's possible to add information during its lifetime so that you actually make a as maintained picture. You can add documentation, you can link directly to parts, elements, and catalogs in the product database. So here, if I click here, I will go to the catalog of this machine directly without needing to browse or to search. And I immediately know that for 100% sure, because everything is filtered. Also, if this is an overloaded catalog, it will be filtered on serial number. So every part I will see here will be valid exactly for my machine. And again, we have all these integrations. In this case, price not available, and that is because I'm not logged in, so I won't see that information. Okay, with that, we have 10 minutes left, so I will just quickly stop sharing my screen. I can share it again later. If someone wants to see something specifically. And yes, Karishma, you can open the floor for questions.
Thank you, Ruud. We've noticed that some of our guests have had issues with accessing the Q&A box, so I'm allowing microphones and the cameras for all participants. So if you have any question, please unmute your mic and ask away. We already have one question in from Veli-Pekka Soni, who says, do you have warranty management properties in your system?
Yes and no. So we have a warranty claim module. So it's possible to configure it and add properties as are needed. So these forms we have basically it's based on a generic forms module, which we have created a claims solution with the properties that are needed. But it can be also that you will add properties to a specific product model or area that are interesting for warranty management, and then it will be in our product database. So it's possible to add it, but of course you will have to do it. So, but our systems are open to add as many properties as you want, both on a product level, on a customer level, or on a specific individual machine level. And then also when you create a claim, you can also define what information you want to have from that customer. I hope that was an answer to this question.
If there are any other questions, please unmute your microphone and ask away. And I hope that answered your question, Veli-Pekka. If it's not, can
I
you please
saw a thumb
specify?
up, I think, so I believe it.
Oh,
Hello, Mauro here. I have a
hi, Mauro.
question. Hi. What is the if we exclude the time needed to load the information into the system, what is the average time for a project going from including both PIM and commerce?
Mm-hmm.
And the second question, while I'm here, is what are the driving? What is the license model? Meaning, is it something related to number of products, the number of customers, turnover, or channels, whatever? What is that sizes the solution?
Yep. Thank you, Mauro. I will start with the first question. So yeah, so it's indeed very good idea to separate the data import from the rest of the project, because data import can take a lot of time, and it also depends enormously on the quality and the maturity of the data when we start the project. So that can take quite some time to get in the data, first of all, to unify it and structure it and increase the quality, and then import. Once that is done, what is also needed then is to configure the portal, the user interface, and to integrate with the various systems. And that part of a project, I would say, would typically be between 2 and 3 months. And the data import can be anything between 2 and 3 months up to a year, depending on the size of the information and the number of sources. But I think the integration part, even though it can be complex, we do work with providers. So we have standard interfaces for getting price, getting availability, getting order lists, adding an order, adding a claim. So these are typically not the ones that take like 6 months. Yeah, so it's the integrations, it is the configuration, styling, profiling of the portal, which will take most of the time after you actually have managed to get in all the information. And then the license model, we have a subscription model, so you pay a fixed price for the base platform plus all the modules that you are using per year. This includes support and it includes upgrades of the system within the same major version of the system. Sometimes an upgrade can require some work also on the customer side to update the information or do something. And the price level depends. I think Karishma maybe can fill in here, but it depends on the size, not only of the company, but also of the aftermarket business. Because sometimes you have a very big company, but they're only using it in one area for just a few machines, or you have a small business which are using it for very many machines. But Karishma, maybe you want to add something on the commercial side of this.
No, I think you've covered it, right? The license model is based on your usage, and we have a base price for the modules that Ruud mentioned. A base module, that's the most important one, but the most important or the varying price point is the implementation, where we actually sit with you and understand how complex is the data model that needs to be developed. So I think Ruud covered it quite well.
I hope we covered it, Mauro, your question. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Do we have any other questions? It's a ask anything session, so please ask away any questions regarding the product or the aftermarket in general and the digitization journey.
Everybody's happy.
Give it a few more seconds to see if anyone else either types out a question or asks a question, and then we can wrap up the session. We have another question in the Q&A. Says, can the legacy information be made available on the system, and how is this data digitized on your portal, as we have most of this stored on papers or PDFs?
Yes, absolutely. So that's, I think, one of the reasons we exist. That is that we combine legacy information with new information and try to unify it so that actually for the end user, they often cannot see so much difference. But this of course will put some pressure or work on migrating this information into our system. And yeah, sometimes this is the data is available in other databases or Excel files or can be exported to XML or some other format, and then we transform it and import it. But sometimes it's PDF, it's Word documents, and then yeah, there will be a need for some manual work to take this in. Even PDF, we can often do something smart with and parse it and create tables automatically, and then we will need someone who uses our manager to import that. For instance, you can create from PDF, create Excel files and import it. So this will be a migration project. This can be done by your personnel, but we also have an office in India, which is a sales office. It's a development office, but we also have some people there for data entry. So we can offer, we can make an offer based on the material you have to actually digitalize the information, have it digitalized by our people in India who are very knowledgeable about our platform, about the Signifikant manager, so who will be very efficient in taking this information into the platform. I hope that
can manage the editorial environment that we have, which is where all the data magic happens.
Exactly. The editors use the manager to manage the information and to import information. Everything you do in the manager can also be done through the API, but typically if we talk these real legacy imports, then typically you will need to start this manager and have some extra manual work to get everything into the system. But semi-automated, we normally can take in all the information, even from PDF files.
I hope that answered your question, Sugandha. Any more questions before we wrap up? I've noticed we've gone a minute over time. Any other last questions? If not, we would like to thank you for your time this afternoon. We're always available via email for any further queries, any further discussions that you would like to have post today's webinar. And thank you again once more. This session has been recorded, so it will be available for on-demand viewing for you and your team. Yeah, thank you, Ruud, and thank you to everyone for participating in today's session. Have a good rest of the day.
Thank you. Thank you, Charisma.